And here we are about to look down on Holloway Field. The clouds have broken today, Kevin Bryant, and we've got some sun down there for some girls lacrosse. I'm Nick Wisniewski along with Kevin Bryant. Kevin, what are we looking at here tonight, this afternoon?
Just afternoon. I mean, this is a beautiful day. We've been waiting for this all year long, for the skies to open up and for us to have 65 plus degree weather, no wind out here to disturb these two teams. And I tell you, we just saw Pioneer last week with a nail-biter win over Skyline right down to the end. I'm looking forward to see if they can pick off where they left off as far as this offense. We haven't seen the Riverettes, though. They're stumbling off this year to a 1-4 record, so hopefully we see their best that they've played all year long right here on our Game of the Week, Nick.
And your Rats are wearing their all-black unis, Pioneers in the home whites. Esol Park in the cage for the Pioneers, and there's got an opening opportunity there for the Rats, but it looked like the Rats, that ball just popped out pretty quickly. And
Azalea Vetter.
Love it.
Love the springy name on that.
She's in the right time of year, the right sport, absolutely. Effervescent, I'm sure, from a personality standpoint. And here the Pioneers picking it up midfield, going hard at it right now. That's Sofia Jimenez.
Could you imagine that yesterday, Nick, all we saw in the Michigan Southeast was rain, rain, rain. Almost 2 inches of rain. This field looks impeccable today.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. That little bit of wind kicked up overnight, and I think that this sun's doing a nice job as well. I gotta say though, like if this were the old days and that weren't the turf down there, they'd probably be clopping through some puddles. A little bit of mud. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, those home whites would not be staying quite so clean.
From the arc, number 15, Sydney Cortina.
For the Pioneer boosters is paying off.
That's
what you're saying.
That's right. I mean, so few teams have got the grass anymore. It's just a rarity.
Sophia Lee is in the cage there for the Riverettes.
Nice job by Lee getting in front of that one and making a save. There's a rainbow toss out into the middle, picked up by the Pioneers. They're going to get right back at it.
Yuha's now with it, and she's taking it around. And that's what you'll see, Nick. After a good stop there, Huron needs to clear that ball out because their defense it just hasn't been there. They've given up double-figure goals in 3 of the last 4 games.
Well, yeah, I don't think that was the pass that Sophie Lee was looking for either, and it's gonna have to start with her more often than not. So having those crisp passes and getting them out to those outlet players to get moving is going to be huge to avoid what we're seeing right now, which is just Pioneers setting up their offense and making cuts straight across the goal mouth. And there's a cut in right there, looking high and low, and then that one is put in. Sofia Jimenez, first goal, first blood, Pioneers.
And the midfielder does a great job and gets success on her first shot of the match. You saw her take the ball up the field because she definitely has the wheels to go for Coach Beligio. She gets down here, though. She's cradling that cross and comes down. And watch, she goes downstairs with this shot, Nick. Boom.
And there wasn't a big whip to it either.
Kind of just lost it right out of the cage.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it was lost or if it was just she was trying to give it just that little bit of a jerk to go down. I don't know. It doesn't matter either way. It's a goal. That's one more for her.
And that, taking the velocity off of that shot, I think really crossed up Lee in the cage for the Riverettes.
Yeah, I think that's a great call. I think that was definitely not the speed that Lee was expecting.
Yeah.
Riverettes now winning it and then trying to move forward. First whistle of the game, but that's incidental as things continue to play forward. And yeah, we're going to need to see the Rats complete a couple of passes to get things going here. There's a nice easy toss in and maintained. Now back around the net. Right in on Esol Park. Park with the save, though.
Good job by Park coming up, and it looks like, I'm not sure if that was Lopez. Her numbers really kind of tucked in that you can't see the back of it. But the attacker, like you said, came from behind the cage, and you can see great job there by Park of tracking that ball after slowing the initial shot down.
Yeah, we're just going to say that's Coco Lopez there.
We'll go with that.
Yep. Rats back at it again. Bouncer in the goal. River Rats tie this one up at 1.
Iris Gong on the shot there. She's a midfielder coming in, the senior with the shot. And let's see this attack coming back in. And again, it was Pioneer not clearing that ball. And the River Rats coming in. And again, another shot. That was just thrown in the bottom of the cage.
Yeah, didn't have tons of torque on it. Well, actually, I take it back. That wasn't too bad coming in from the high look there.
And that's something the River Rats are going to have to do. If you look over the last 3 games, they only scored 13 goals combined. So for them to get on the board this early, that's a good sign for the River Rats.
Yeah, and being able to build on that early on, absolutely. Both players getting their handles where they need to be. Face-off ends up being taken by the Pioneers. That's number 11, Sofia Jimenez again. I have a feeling we're going to be saying her name an awful lot here. And there she is. Jimenez cuts right into the middle. Sends it back out to the side. They're going to work along. Tried to work it along out behind the cage, but that one fell away from Clara Freeth.
Yeah, and I think that was actually Nyman.
Kate Nyman, yep.
Yeah, Nyman on the pass. And it looked like Jimenez actually took the draw and took it all the way inside. Good patience there, though, because Pioneer still has possession.
Saw Vivian Fukeci there from the outside for a moment. Now picked up by the Rats. Rats are going to try to push on through, but just being completely stymied by a couple of Pioneers. No go, and that one's picked up by Ellie Heben.
Yeah, you can see the Pioneers' defense really just staying 1 foot away from the attackers of the River Rats and not giving any space to really make any good definitive passes.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to want to do early on to frustrate these River Rats who have shown propensity to be frustrated. Get in there, make them uncomfortable, and don't give them any quarter.
Nice of the referee to give the Rats a little shoestring break there before the play kicks back in.
A couple of nice passes up, trying to move into the offensive zone here for the River Rats. Molly Schneidwin brought that one down in number 2. That's Clara Freeth, excuse me. And now the Rats do have some passes to build on here.
And see, that's what they can't do, is allow that ball to get down into the ground. It just blows your momentum, and you almost have to reset your offense when that happens.
It was interesting to see. Oh, and there's a nice shot that goes in far side for the River Rats. And I was just about to say, it was interesting to see the Pioneers not go after that ball when it hit the turf. And the River Rats continue to maintain possession and then get something to show for it.
Yeah, on this replay, you can see here, well, actually, just before that, you can see how Pioneer took a lackadaisical path to the ball, like you said, and Azalea Vetter came in and really didn't have anyone in her way to slow her down. You saw her miss the first person, and nobody stepped up on the second line of defense to slow the ball down before it got past Park.
And now the River Rats making the Pioneers feel a little uncomfortable with a 2-1 lead, 5:35 to go here in this first quarter.
Well, Nick, you can always throw these records out the window when these two teams meet. These
crosstown rivals. Pioneer comes up with that one. They're going to have a head of steam moving into the offensive zone. That one, long pass, bounces though right past Kate Nyman.
Yeah, I think Nyman could have cut the distance off. She kind of looked at it, and maybe she lost that ball in this bright sky because she kind of paused right there without moving away towards the ball, or just allow it to bounce over her back.
Yeah, I think being a little bit more aggressive would have helped her out there, take a step and a half forward, going for that way rather than waiting for it to come for her. And you're right, she might have lost it in a very high sky right now. River Rats picked that one up. Getting forward, trying to put more pressure on the Pioneers, keep them on their heels.
And that one just fell out of the cage of Abedina Khan, who was on the attack for the Rats.
Loose ball now near the 30.
Pioneer, though, just still can't get that ball and clear it right now. This first quarter is going by without them doing a great job of clearing the ball on these Huron attacks.
Yeah, they seem content to play defense, and then here comes another opportunity there for the River Rats. That one missed by Vetter one more time. She had another clear look into the cage.
Yeah, and check out this little dime right here. Nice little scoop pass. And that's kind of almost like the goal we saw on the other end of the field. Just a quick pop pass up out of your cross.
Well, and she just needed a few extra feet to get it there, so that's a smart play.
Maybe she plays a little shortstop.
Yeah,
You know,
she kind of had that look. Yeah,
second base for that turn.
Yeah. Rats back on the attack.
That's Gong. She's already found the back of the cage. And again, you're seeing the River Rats showing some patience here. And it's, they can do that. Even use the ref as a little screen there, right? Why not?
Hey, why not? Exactly. He's a big dude.
He has been losing a couple pounds.
I'm sure he's
since
his
last
best,
year.
just like all of us are. Another one right out front. One more goal for the River Rats. 3-1 now, with 3:17 to go here in this first quarter.
Yeah, and that's
River Rats goal number 26, Elizabeth
Beach on the goal.
Huron
I wanted to make sure that wasn't 28. I was looking at the number really hard there. And good pirouette coming back in. Lots of space back over on the left-hand side, but really fooled Park by going upstairs. You can see Park turn her cross kind of parallel to her body. She didn't even put it up where the netting was at on her cross.
Well, and I just feel like Park's been kind of left out on an island by herself for a couple of these goals. She might not know which way is which at this point.
Yeah, and this is surprising based off of the record. You wouldn't have thought Huron would come in this hot on the offensive end just because they hadn't just been scoring, Nick. And they're really showing up strong here to begin this match.
Well, it's all about peaking at this time of year, right? Crescendoing up, getting towards the state tournament. And Huron, at least for right now, for this afternoon, appears to be doing just that.
Kakachi around. She gets it over to Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb was our key player last week, unable to get that goal past Lee. She went downstairs with it, Nick.
Yeah, it was a downstairs look, but now the River Rats coming back up, and man, they had some success so far this game.
You see good pass there by Kakachi, and Lamb definitely goes downstairs trying to bounce it up. I think that might even hit the post.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or the cross up on top.
Another high bouncing ball goes over Park there.
Yeah, Park did a great job of coming out of the cage. Love the way she cut off the distance from the attacker and got her cross onto this shot and just made it really difficult for Beach to get that ball in. Yeah. Way to use your head.
And I was going to say, she might have had a little bit on her noodle there, too.
Love the way now how Pioneer is sinking in and helping out Park. You mentioned it just the play before that Park wasn't getting any help from her defenders.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's her being vocal and communicating, hey, help me out here. If
Why
that's
not?
Coach on the sidelines. Somebody has been talking to these defenders, because you're right, there's a lot more tight-knit defense on that last run through.
Last game that we saw Pioneer, Nick, they did do a switcheroo after the first quarter. So let's keep an eye on if Park comes back in after this slow start.
One more goal for the River Rats, and I'm curious if Park would want to stay in and try to redeem herself
River Rats
a little bit as this
goal
game
number
continues.
2, Clara Freeth.
And that was
Scores Huron
Sierra
4, Pioneer
Freeth
1, with
on the goal.
1:33 remaining
And you see
in
her
the first
coming
quarter.
in again. Another one from top shelf Cheddar.
And something else, a great note, we got a timeout here, believed by Pioneer. I mean, they want to stop it and stop the bleeding, I would imagine, but looking
Timeout,
down at
Pioneer.
those River Rats, 4 goals, 4 different goal scorers.
Yeah, and that's the way you want to come over in a game like this. It's an earlier start than these girls are used to, usually later in the day. Maybe that's why we got this bright sun out here, and I'm loving every bit of it.
Well, maybe it's the sun, and maybe these players are just more, they come right out of school, get right to the
Not
field.
a break in
and go.
between,
Yeah.
where you lose your focus.
Yep.
You've been talking about it all day long, and I don't know. I think these kids, both teams, I don't know. It might be some holiday. Ann Arbor has a lot of holidays. I don't believe either school is in session tomorrow,
good
but
for them.
we're in session.
Yes,
we still
indeed.
got one more game to close out the season, right?
One more in the spring season. One more water polo match coming up next week. But yeah, it's been quite a season. We can see a little bit of a break. We had a couple of cancellations, as you will in the spring.
You have to.
Subject to the
I
weather.
was talking to Eve Claire, the AD of Pioneer, before today's match, and she was saying that they've been very lucky. hadn't had too many games canceled this year. I guess she's just a super scheduler.
she just knew where to put them. She's paying attention to the Farmer's
Exactly.
Almanac and knew where to pencil everything in. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So let's take a look at if Coach Berigio comes out and has a different keeper in the net. It looks like it's still going to be Park coming out, and that's surprising after giving up 4 goals, Nick.
Yeah, 4 goals early, but I think that with a player like Park, she's a senior, right? She's got something to prove. She doesn't want to fall away from a big moment. This is her chance to redeem herself, forget about the ones that have went by, and help her team carry forward. And, in usual fashion with these groups, the goaltender will start the offense going, right? So you need that experienced player to get things going back there. But you're right. I mean, you guys saw last week that wasn't the case. They switched out after 1 quarter.
Yeah.
So we could see it again. You never know.
I mean, Jayla Thomas came in and did a great job in the cage. We did see Park in between in the second half, but maybe we never know because these goalkeepers take so many shots. She might have just been ailing from one of these balls hitting her in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's always a true point. Not tons of padding out there with the girls in lacrosse.
Whoa, they came out stellar after that time. Look at Pioneer.
That one just popped out of Neiman's cross right there. But now the River Rats, adept job of getting that knocked down over there. We got a whistle. That was Molly Schneidwin that hit the turf.
Yeah, and in this sport, if you hit the turf, there's definitely going to be a whistle. It's not like the boys' game where they allow them to play up and down the field with a little contact.
1 minute
Yeah,
remaining in the first
little
quarter.
to no padding out there on those players.
None.
So
Not
there-
even the
there's-
keepers with any kind of long shorts on today. It's all short
Exactly.
shorts.
49 seconds to go here in the first quarter of this one. It's CTN Sports Game of the Week from Holloway Field. As you can see, lots of purple down there.
This one's going to be a free shot, it looks like, coming up for Huron.
And Huron continues to keep the pressure on the home Pioneers. Spinning around, trying to find anybody, going back out wide of the perimeter, but that one lost. But still a great job by the Rats to get in there and pick that one up to stay on the offensive side.
Yeah, Natalie Cho, that ball kind of jumped up on her. She kind of ducked or flinched when it came to her. Only 5 seconds remaining, not a shot on the goal, though.
And they seemed content to just call that one. I don't know if they may not have known that was going on, but that'll do it for first quarter action here from Holloway Field, where the River Rats in a little bit of an upset situation, up 4-1 on the home Pioneers. Stick around, we got more CTN Sports Game of the Week coming up right after this.
Burns Park Orthodontics and McNamara Orthodontics, our silver sponsors.
Hi, I'm Mitch with CTN. Did you know CTN is available on both Android and iOS platforms for free?
That's right, you can find us on the Cablecast app. Just look up CTN and all your favorite local programs are right at your fingertips. But that's not all. CTN is also on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. If this is for you, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Then navigate to the About tab for instructions on how to set it up on your device. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can watch our live meetings and all of our CTN-produced programs at youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor. So come watch CTN, where we aim to connect, create, and communicate.
And here we are looking down at Holloway Field, double A's down there.
You know, Nick, I wonder how long it takes for the ref to learn how to position that ball on those crosses. I mean, or are those girls, they definitely aren't shaking down there either.
No, there's an art to that for sure. River Rats picking up where they left off in that first quarter, which is attack, attack, attack.
They really had possession of the ball more than the Pioneers, and it seemed like the Pioneers a little lackadaisical to begin this match.
Yeah.
Not a lot of energy.
Yeah, you've used that word a couple of times, and I think that that's about right. I don't think that they're lazy per se, but there's something about their game right now. They just might not be as dialed in as probably Coach wants.
Yeah, and when you look at the two sidelines and looking at the benches, let's look at this play here, this replay, and this is just some of that defense of the River Rats. Just, I mean, putting those crosses in the right places, the Rats, to start off this match. But looking on the sideline, Nick, here Pioneer really doesn't have that much of a bench. They got maybe 2 players and 2 keepers on the sideline. And then when you look back over, but then look at this stick work. Almost one-timer into the goal, but just a little bit wide on that shot. And then you look at the Huron sideline. Huron has another squad on the bench. So, I don't know, maybe the Pioneers, this is like senior night kind of deal.
But I mean, like you said, like maybe it's not a case of lackadaisical. Maybe it's a case of we need to conserve energy and pick our spots when we hit the accelerator.
Look at this sideline. I mean, there is nobody there for Coach Bariglio to find.
Sparse, to say the least. Sparse is the best word I've got for what that bench looks like.
Huron now back on the attack like you've been saying, Nick. I mean, this is like put the tape on rerun.
And the Rats staying with it. But you do see Pioneer doing a little bit of a better job of getting out to that perimeter to force a little bit of the action.
Yeah, clean match. No too many penalties for Pioneer. They're just making mistakes on the attack like that. Going after a ball and missing it. Khan deking out the entire squad. You saw how that Pioneer defense just collapsed, and what a save there, Nick.
Killer save. I mean, that was the classic one-time shot right in front of the net, and Park was there, just played it perfectly.
Now Vetter coming around the back.
And that's another goal for the Rats. One more.
That's going to be Azalea's second goal on the day.
On goal, number 7, Azalea Vetter.
And Vetter really placed this one in the spot she really wanted it. You can see her come around, and she's just on that arc, brings the keeper Park out of the cage, and it really opened up the top shelf.
Well, and I wonder if she used that defender as a little bit of a screen as well, because she seemed to come up and really meet the defender head on, ran right into her to get that shot going.
Well, this is totally unexpected as far as the score is concerned, but as a River Rat, I'm not mad at it.
You're right. I was going to say, got a big grin on this guy's face in here. He is completely happy with what he's seen so far, and if the Pioneers are going to make something out of this, they're going to have to get mad and get going here.
Yeah, and they've already called one of their 2 timeouts in this half, so I'm not sure if a timeout is going to be the thing. I think maybe a goal would slow the onslaught by the River Rats and maybe get the Pioneers back dialed into this match.
Nice pickup there by Lacey Delp, and she continues to try to move forward. Nowhere to go, though. Great forechecking by the Pioneers.
Yeah, Sydney Cortina is not letting her get anywhere out of there. Now number 1 for Huron. She's a bigger athlete out there. You can see her just bull her way through and get the pass over midfield.
Right, and that's a smart play, right? If I'm not getting it done, if I can't get it done, or if my teammate can't get it done, let me get down there and help her out.
Still some issues with the passing going on with the River Rats. You can see there, even on the attack, keeping that ball into the netting is difficult.
Yeah, they've had a hard time with those longer passes getting things going. They've been more than happy with doing what the Pioneers are doing right now.
Wow, what
short
speed.
passes going in, speed and hard shot finds the back of the net. Margaret Lamb.
Yeah, Maggie Lamb is the one that she knows how to find the back of the cage. 4 goals against Skyline last week, and that is just what the Pioneers needed, really, to wake up this squad and hopefully get them back into this match. And that was just a quick, onslaught right at the cage. You can see her again here coming in, and there's no defender that can keep up with her. She's just passing people 5 yards ahead of her, weaves her way in to get the angle on that shot.
Yeah, that was a great job of switching her momentum. She was going full speed left and then just cut right like a young Barry Sanders there, and nothing the defenders could do and nothing the goalkeeper could do to keep that one out.
No, Sophia Lee was just, she was out of the cage, and it's just a superior move on the offensive end there by Maggie Lamb.
Yeah, Lamb's a goal scorer. She's an attacker at heart, so she's going to get hers, and I'm sure that her and her Pioneer teammates would like that to be happening early and often now. River Rats almost came away with that one. I will say that about the Rats is that winning these face-offs has been a huge boon for them getting things going.
Yeah, the last one, Jimenez did win, and the Pioneers gets a goal. Here's Jimenez again. But you're right. It starts with the face-off.
And full-on attack moving forward now with the Pioneers. I think they're going to call it maybe an offsides there.
It looked like there was two.
Neiman was off, yep.
Yeah, Neiman looked like she had – man, and actually there's going to be an infraction on the River Rats.
And the Pioneers keep possession, and they're going to have an opportunity here. Cut right in, Jimenez, and that's another goal for Sofia Jimenez.
Yeah, Jimenez took it right to the cage off of that major penalty there by the Rats. And these are two things that we didn't see from the River Rats in the first period, were turnovers as well as penalties.
Yeah, you can't have penalties like that. A bunch of quality attackers that Pioneer has, they're going to take advantage of those every single time.
Yeah, and that scoring opportunity there, Jimenez comes in, she puts it downstairs, even almost between the legs of Lee. And, the River Rats, even though they won that last face-off, put themselves in the hole by not getting back on the defense and committing a penalty.
We've got a River Rat player coming off right now. She's maybe turned an ankle. She's not limping a little bit, is I guess what we'll say. That's Julia Gray down there.
Yeah, she looked like she just took something to one of her legs, and she's trying to find some ice right now, and she's going to take herself out of the competition area, actually, and maybe jump onto the cart.
Well, I think there's an igloo cooler back there, so there might be some ice in that guy.
Yeah, and that would help out the River Rats because they need all they can have out here on this match today.
Because the Pioneers one more time coming in, attacking, trying to go low one more time on Sophie Lee.
That was Jimenez once again, but Nyman fast to the ball. She keeps it in play, and back on the attack come the Pioneers.
Pioneer, nice pass into Nyman. Nyman cuts that one in. Gets the shot by Lee. One more goal for the Pioneers, and we have got a close match.
Yeah, this is a kind of carbon copy of our match against Skyline, where Pioneer fell behind, and then they fought their way back into the match.
Number 2, Kate Nyman.
And Pioneer just kept possession of this ball. Nyman comes in, and it just looks like Huron's defenders never really stood up on that play. Kind of opened the door.
I was going to say they almost spread open for the way by the looks of things. I don't know if they weren't sure where she was going to go, or they were trying to anticipate her going where she obviously wasn't, but she was happy to have a little bit of an opening and take that shot. And now a 5-4 lead for the Rats. Pioneer comes up with that one. That's 15. That's Sydney Cortina. Cortina got that one up to McGowan. She hits the dirt.
I mean, that's you're running into a wall when you're running into number 1 for Huron. She is built from the bottom up, and boom.
And then no big deal. That's Lamb one more time. Another goal for Maggie Lamb, and Pioneers have battled their way back to tie this one at 5.
Or we're taking a look at the hit, so we missed that goal live. But Maggie Lamb, you can't turn ahead on her. Look how fast she gets inside, runs right behind the defender. And again, Lee is just caught without any kind of help, and that one precipitates a timeout by the Rats.
Yeah, you've got to do that after giving up 4 straight, and you really feel like the River Rats are on their heels. They need to take a little bit of a stop and regather and talk about that defense that made them so strong in the first quarter, where is it right now?
Yeah, all of those good feelings coming out of that first quarter are gone. They're like last week if you're a River Rat right now. They're in the back of your mind. You can't even think about it. But for the Pioneers, what a way to, get out here in this second quarter and really get your fans into this match. And we got some fans out here watching the game. It looks like even a core of students over there. You don't see that too often on these early matches. Love to see that.
And like we mentioned, it's a great day to be out there. I mean, it's perfect. It's 70, 71 degrees. It's sunny where those folks are at. The sun's only hitting them a little bit right now.
Yeah, they're I don't know. The sun, after it comes out of the clouds, I mean, it is slapping you right now. And they're catching the brunt of it over there.
All right, so now if you are down in that Huron huddle, what are you talking about? You talking about defense? You talking about offense?
Yeah, I think I'm talking about defense. The defense is where Huron is really losing it in front of the cage of Lee. She has no help in this second period. Pioneer has been successful, it seems like, on almost every attack. Not too many blocks there by Lee, or what we saw in that first period, a lot of nice checking, in the rule book, under the chin, above the waistline, and dislodging of slashes onto the crosses for the Riverettes. Not a lot of that going on. And, it's just a good energy that the Riverettes came out with. That's what they got to try to find.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And the Riverettes make use of every moment of that timeout. The Pioneers were out there ready to get going, get back at it. But the Rats needed every single moment. And it looks like we might have
a new keeper.
Yep.
Going into the net for Pioneer is going to be number 87. Is going to be Jayla Thomas, and Jayla touching the cage for some luck. Maybe that gives their keeper that was in the cage, Park, a little bit of a break, but Park really never saw anything in that second period.
No, that second quarter was all Pioneer offensively. So that's an interesting move. I'm curious.
Maybe that was just a game plan going in.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we did see it last time where we switched up a little, but here it is. This has just been all this second period. This quarter has just been dominated by Pioneer's possession of the ball.
And Pioneer keeps it up. There's Lamb. They're doing a nice job of getting some bodies in front of her and even some bodies on her to make things uncomfortable for her.
And see, that's what I was just talking about. Great job there of coming down with her cross, and I believe that was Vetter, Azalea Vetter, coming back in and helping out and dislodging that ball on the attack.
River Rats back at it. Crosses midfield with a full head of steam and some players out in front of her. Cut to the right, and she's going to look right in the front.
She's
Everybody's
looking at the cage.
more than happy just to watch her go. And I think the game plan was to get down behind the net and get this offense going in a different way.
Heben was back there trying to shadow the attacker for the River Rats. It looked like maybe somebody stepped inside that crease, and that would have been Heben. Huron stays possession with the rock.
Now the River Rats with a chance to really get off the schneid here, get back on the right side of the scoring. And there it is one more time, held up high but shot wide right of the keeper.
Vetter again trying to go for the hat trick, and she did come to the short side of the cage. First shot seen there by Thomas, and you can see coming in, Vetter comes down, and that's that defense in front of her that really helped her out.
Rats back on the attack, playing it behind the net, waiting for those players to cut out front, maybe get one of those one-timers going. And there's a cut out in front and a nice save by the new keeper.
Yeah, but there was even better defense by Vivian Kakachi. She comes in, and Kakachi comes in, and you can see her tap the back of that cross. Look at that. Did a great job of just dislodging that ball.
Yeah, great job of staying with it, and even if the player may have beaten you.
That was a little bit of a trip, man.
Lamb, not to be deterred, though,
What a
still
save.
turns that around. Nice save there, Sophie Lee.
Yeah, I
Pioneers
mean,
continue on the offense.
and Lee doesn't have any padding on her shins or her legs or her feet, and she just, gives it up for the squad. Second save on that attack. Good job there for the goalkeeper. And here he comes in for this attack. Watch Maggie Lamb comes in, that ball, and she just makes herself big in the net, Nick, on that save.
Pioneer scoops this one up. Who else but Maggie Lamb comes up with it. Left of the goaltender. She's going to go behind the net and try to get her teammates to work it out in front. You got that cutter right out front.
Jimenez.
Hit it, found her, and scores.
Man, that was
with another goal.
And that's her hat trick on the night. And I tell you, Nick, that was above average pass there by Lamb. That assist, she really had the defense, Lamb did, just staring at her behind the cage. And look at it, she just whips it. And that is a top speed pass for Jimenez. Only needed one little juke here after this catch. And wow, what a shot. Good shot there from our cameraman to really show the distance in between that pass.
Yeah, that might be an early leader for one of the plays of the season right there. Just everything about that really quick, sharp pass.
Love both of them.
Receives it, and then the goal was beautiful. And now, who'da thunk it? Pioneers up 6-5, 1-goal lead right now with 3:13 to go here in this first half.
It's like Pioneer put you to sleep in the first quarter, allows you to get some good feelings about yourself, and then they just step on your neck the rest of the game.
Riverettes trying to bring it into their zone. Ball held up high, some fakes. Now those Riverettes making one
Good
cut
pass.
after another, trying to get out in front of the net. Nice defense, though.
I think that was Khan that they were trying to find coming into the netting area. And you can see this pass right here, quick, and it looks like in the cage, Thomas does a great job of scooping that pass up.
Yeah, you could just tell. We couldn't hear it up here, but I know that there's really good communication by those defenders and those goalkeepers down there waiting for those players to cut.
A lot of extra energy out of the Pioneers now. You can see them moving a bit faster once they get possession of the ball.
Yeah, you wonder if they were biding their time a little bit after that first quarter, but with that short bench, are they going to have to dial it back at some point?
Only 2 minutes remaining here in this first half, and we'll see. I mean, but the Pioneers have really just been stepping on the gas pedal here.
I mean, every time they come up, they're a real threat to score a goal. Here's Nyman again trying to work it around. Nice defense there. That one slapped away by Elizabeth Beach. Beach plays it to the keeper, and now it'll be on Sophie Lee to do something with it.
And here's a quick look at that last play. Good defense here coming in from the Riverettes. Taking it to the back was Nyman, but just scooped it right out of her cage with a good slash with the Riverette defense. Rats are not in any hurry right now.
No, and even after that brief replay there, Lee still holding the ball, slowly working her way up. I don't think I've ever seen this per se.
No, she's probably letting the folks up at Lansing know we need a shot clock in this sport. Great job there.
But that's a really clever play there coming up from behind is Nina Bonenberger. Right, Bonenberger waited for her opportunity and then just made a dart for Lee.
Well, Lee's not going to be able to go across half the midfield mark, so she was going to put on the brakes. Good timing there, though. And look at this coming in and just scoops it up right at the 45-yard line. Actually, that was at the 40. So she was slowing down before and looking for a player. That's Lee was, and just a great job from Bonenberger to come in from the rear.
Riverette's awarded a freebie here, and now we're going to go right at the net, but that was strong defense in there, not afraid to get some bodies on some players.
Yeah, we're going to have to rewind that one up because it was Heben that came in from the left side and just banged upstairs into the attacker for the Riverettes.
And they will, in fact, run this one back. Not an instant replay. This is live action about to come in for the Rats. Great save down low. And there's just a scrum right out in front of the net before Pioneer comes up with it, and they're going to turn this one around with only 19 seconds to go. We'll see what they can get going in not a whole heck of a lot of time.
And with 5 unanswered goals, the Pioneers really don't need to find the cage again. They can take this one in to the halftime, feeling good about themselves, and just regroup for the second half.
And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to go into half with a 1-goal lead after being down 4 to start this one out. So we'll see what happens with second half action here from Holloway Field coming up on CTN Sports Game of the Week.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was a little distracted. I was just catching up on some reading. It's the Michigan Motor Vehicle Code. There's some really good stuff in this book. But anyways, speaking about being distracted, I'm Officer John Gilby from the Ann Arbor Police Department. And if you have a minute, I'd like to talk to you about the dangers of distracted driving. Did you know that last year alone there were more than 15,000 crashes caused by distracted driving? When you're out there and you drive distracted, you don't just put yourself at risk, but you put the passengers in your car, pedestrians, and cyclists at risk too. In the summer of 2023, Michigan's hands-free driving law went into effect. The law made it illegal for drivers to use their phones while driving, and that includes while being stopped at red lights or stop signs. The only exemption to this law is if you're calling or texting 911 in case of an emergency. So please, keep our community safe, keep your phones down, and focus on the road. Stay safe, Ann Arbor.
You wouldn't pee in a pool.
Ew.
Just like peeing in the pool, dumping waste or other things at home can find their way into our creeks, streams, and rivers, impacting everyone. You can help keep our waters clean. Pick up after your pets. Correctly dispose of paints and oils. Limit the use of fertilizers. Bag leaves or add them to a compost pile instead of leaving them in the street. Use native plants in rain gardens. Don't overuse detergents at home. And seek local disposal options for household hazardous waste, like a local home toxin center. Consult your municipality's or township's website for free drop-off days throughout the year. Just like you wouldn't pee in the pool, think about how what you do impacts those around you. To learn more about what you can do to protect local water, visit annarborwater.org.
Welcome to Ward Talk with our host, Bonnie Gabowitz. Each episode, we interview city leaders on the challenges, successes, and future of Ann Arbor. The mayor and 10 city council members share their insights on where we've been and where we're going. In that time, many changes happen, so tune in to Ward Talk every month to stay in the know. You can submit questions for our guests to ctn@a2gov.org, and we'll include your questions in the next episode.
The Ann Arbor Farmers Market, located at 315 Detroit Street, proudly brings fresh produce, beverages, artisan items, and more to the community all year. Our 105-year-old market is producer only, featuring 125 vendors from Michigan. At market, you will find seasonal fruit and vegetables, mushrooms, herbs, farm fresh eggs, flowers, plants, honey, coffee, jewelry, art, and so much more. Market tokens for credit, debit, mobile pay, and Double Up food bucks can be purchased at our market office trailer. The market is open year-round, from 7 to 3 on Wednesdays and Saturdays through December. Between January and April, it will be open on Saturdays only, from 8 to 3. Learn more about the long and unique history of our market at a2gov.org/market.
Holloway Field down there. We've got girls lacrosse, second half getting ready to go in a hotly contested matchup here, Kevin Bryant.
I mean,
what's going on there?
They're taking quarters. First quarter, all River Rats. I mean, it seemed like I was saying, I used the lackadaisical word several times for Pioneer. This second period, though, they came out blazing, and just like this, Jimenez is right back at it.
Yeah, the Pioneers are anything but lackadaisical in that second quarter. Just goal after goal, piling on the Rats, getting ahead, and here they pick it up right as the half starts.
Best save of the game, though. Coming out was Lee to stop that one downstairs, and Jimenez comes in from behind the cage, drops it down, and Lee was just all over it, and she just started this breakout.
And this might be one of the better long passing series for the Rats. That one muffed a little bit by Natalie Cho, but she stays with it, picks it up, and the River Rats are trying to get back into this one.
And all that screaming you hear from the sidelines is from the River Rats sideline. They're really trying to, get some good feelings going on for the Rats out on the field.
Well, it's so easy to be demoralized after a quarter like that, right? So the idea is to get this energy going, pick them up, and try to make something big happen early on. Nice pass right out in front. I believe there's a Dina Khan that missed on that one, though.
Yeah, and watch the save here. This is what started it all off. I mean, coming out and just mirroring where the cross was from your attacker. Great job. I mean, that was a clinic.
Yeah, great job. Great job by Lee there to stay out in front, make the save, and then get the offense going.
Yeah, with that strong outlet pass, and that's something we didn't see in anything in the first half.
Pioneers now trying to work this one forward. That's Julia Gray. I'm sorry, that's Grace Zaninsky.
I love this name, Sequoia Vetter on the defense there, number Deuce for Huron. High pass there coming in for Cortina.
Sequoia Vetta and Azalea Vetter. I think parents have a flower thing going on.
Yeah, and they're not with those regular names. I love it too. Those are some beautiful names.
A little different. Yeah, you're gonna stick out with some names like that. They'll take you far.
I believe that was Nyman coming in from behind the cage. And it looks like Huron or Pioneers really brought that offense out, trying to develop some more slashing and cutting lanes.
And there was a shot, another save there by Sophie Lee. Lee seems to be on her game right now.
Yeah, and different than that time where she took it up at the end of the first period all the way up to the 45. She's letting some outlet passes go once she possesses the ball.
Yeah. And there was Lamb one more time, not interested in the least in trying to pass that one away. She got it, and she's just got a nose for the net trying to get in there.
A lot more movement we're seeing out of the Pioneers. Before in the first half was a lot of passing on the perimeter, but now you're seeing cutters coming in between Lee and the cage, and just a lot of movement. Here comes Lamb.
Great save one more time by Sophie Lee. Lamb denied right out front, went low.
Yeah, I love the way Lamb's doing the job in the cage and just mirroring the attackers coming in. And maybe we'll take a quick look at it, but Pioneer's still on the attack.
Pioneer not giving up, and that one got slapped away. A little, probably too low on the stick there.
And here's a look on that last attack by Lamb. Look at her give away the feint like she was trying to pass it. Found the crease in the defense. Look at her just draw the attention. Shot over to River Rats, but Lee not having any of it.
Pioneer long shot now. Instead of trying to get in close, they tried to go long, but still went low, and Sophie Lee continues the streak.
And believe that was on the shot there. Grace Zarinsky comes in and just Lee's just playing great defense there.
Yeah, Lee's gotta get those defenders out there and hopefully maybe get them get those Pioneers attackers before they get the shots off.
Wow, look at this burst.
Slick move, cutting through a few defenders and puts it in the back of the net, and the River Rats have tied this one up at 6.
Oh man, and of course we don't have 16 on the roster.
Here on goal, number 16.
Painful.
We do not have a name for you.
Free You.
Scores tied at 6.
On the goal,
With
Free
7:30
You, number
remaining in
16.
third quarter.
If I may,
Yeah?
he said we do not have a name for you.
Oh, okay. So great. He helped me out.
Kinda.
I mean, he did say a name, and then I'm writing the name down, and let's go with
We can
unknown.
go for you. Yes.
But that was a great blast and a burst of speed to just cut in between the Pioneer defenders and unleash a shot. Hadn't seen speed like that out of any of the River Rats today.
Yeah, expertly done. Exactly right. She just shot like a cannon through those players and was left all alone with the goaltender and took advantage of that opportunity. River Rats back at it again. That one knocked out and picked up by the Pioneer. Bonenberger now trying to run up the sideline. Bonenberger looking deep to Nyman. Nyman now spinning down to the side as well.
Whoa, that one just bounced over the entire cage. That shot there by McGowan. And I think that's still going to stay Pioneer possession. They're doing a great job of putting someone behind the cage that where they're the closest one before that one goes out. But let's take a quick look at this last shot here. Yeah. And coming in, just Nyman coming in, finds a shot into the front of the cage. And watch this, just a bit short by McGowan.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's exactly what you want. Great job one more time receiving that pass. You're all alone out in front of the net that way.
And that's, again, why Pioneer is spreading out this off their attack. And there's their goal. Guess who? Maggie Lamb again.
Another Maggie Lamb.
Pioneer goal number 7.
But since they've spread out that defense of the River Rats, opening up some more attack lanes for the attackers. And you can see Lamb here. She goes 0 to 100 real quick.
6 minutes,
and she drops it downstairs. I mean, that looked like one of those warm-up shots at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Lamb is incredible at that fake and then just turns it on. Just a really quick first step, and you can see that those River Rat defenders are on their heels immediately once she gets going.
Yeah, she just lulls, she's asleep, and then she's out of the room. I mean, she'd be a great babysitter.
Face-off upcoming here now as we've got a 7-7 tie up on the board.
We don't have blowouts when we get girls lacrosse on this channel,
no,
folks.
Certainly not. Certainly not. Yeah, tune in to some good ones. Go back and watch some other good ones, some close ones. River Rats find that one right out in front in the middle. There was Schneidwin there.
Oh, she tried to really place that one in the cage there by Schneidwin. And just Thomas just tracked that ball all across the cage, and now she's really setting it up. But watch this one. Schneidwin comes in right around the entire cage and doing a great job of not letting any cracks on the short side, and that's exactly where the shot came in at, and that was right off of the knee or just above the knee off of the thigh. Ouch.
Yeah, Thomas one more time, more than willing to sacrifice the body for the team.
You know, on these cold days, you usually see the keepers out there in some longer shorts. Today, everybody's in the shorts, so that will leave a mark. Hey, that was over the head pass.
Apparently not, as Pioneers end up coming with this one, and there's a lot of players behind her. She's got a couple River Rats gaining now, though.
Good scoop there.
Yeah, Lamb, great job sticking with that one, picking that one up, and we'll see if she's going to dish this one off or just go right at it, as she has want to do this entire game. And we got a whistle coming up behind her.
It's going to be Lamb on the free shot.
Lamb, number 7.
And that was Vetter on the penalty.
Lamb working the cross, getting ready, shoots low, just slightly wide. Hard shot trying to get low on Sophie Lee.
You know, now I'm figuring out why we had to had this match so early. boys match after this game.
Oh, that'll do it?
Yeah. So, I mean, the boys are playing Bedford later today. Yeah. That's going to be one of the top teams in the SEC, Red Bedford.
Another low shot going right across the goal mouth. That's Hester picking that one up before illegal smack of the stick there.
Yeah, you can see here coming into the net, just a great job of Lee. Tracking it and then even using her elbow, just making herself wide when the attackers are coming in at the cage.
Yeah, you've said it a few times, just textbook goalkeeping from her. She's got great footwork, great leg work. And one more time.
Oh, man, it looked like there was a slash coming down on, is that Nyman? Yeah, that was Nyman. Let's see if we can see the slash come in.
Kate Nyman.
Man, and it looked like they didn't call that one on Hester. The other defender was the one that they called the penalty on.
And Nyman will have her opportunity. She's got singular mind right there and slams that one into the back of the net to give the Pioneers the lead.
Goal.
You know, and you pointed this one out at the first quarter, Nick, how Huron had so many different goal scorers. Pioneers only had 3 scorers on the day, and this is the third one here. Second one for Nyman on the day. Lamb and Jimenez is the other 2 that have found the back of the net.
Yeah, the Pioneers, they've got their attackers that have really dialed in, whereas River Rats, they're spreading it around quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think I'd rather be on the River Rat side just because you never know where the ball might come from. Easier to defend if you know who the shooters are. And that's been the case at the beginning of this match. But right now, Huron is scrapping to stay in this one.
Yeah, it feels like they're fighting to keep their head above water. That's exactly right. Down 8-6 right now. Nyman now back up with it. Cuts back to her right. They're going to call some contact there, but it really felt like Nyman ran into Hester, not the other way around.
I think Hester is just getting calls just because of her size. That's like Shaq back in the day, right? Getting hacked all the time.
Trying to work it around the perimeter one more time. There's Maggie Lamb. Maggie Lamb puts the Jets on, tries to go in, but a nice job by the River Rats to have 2 defenders out front blocking her, but Lamb not giving this one up quite yet.
Yeah, you definitely have to have someone in front and in the rear when Lamb is on the attack because of her speed.
Lamb's still holding the ball, turns around, high shot, finds the back of the net one more time. Maggie Lamb stuck with it, and there's just, I mean, what are you going to do? You stopped her one time, then you stop and wait for her to make a move, and then that move happens, and there's just
goal number 7, Maggie Lamb.
Yeah, this is kind of feeling of inevitability. I mean, just coming around, and it was 2 defenders that Lamb beat with her speed, and then takes that cross and puts it out in front of her with so much torque coming around on her left side just to unleash that shot in front of Lee. Just a superior effort.
Yeah, great effort. You can just see Lamb, you just see her for the attacker, for the goal scorer that she is. She's just a pure scorer out there. She's got a nose for the net. She knows where she needs to be, and she's got all of those abilities to get her there.
And let's check out this penalty before here by Hester. I don't think that was it. I think just before that play was when Hester got called on it. Maybe we can find that and show you to you, just because Hester's been a victim of some quick whistles, we feel.
Rats back up with it now, trying to get themselves back into this one. They've still got a lot of energy coming off that bench. And that's Molly Schneidwind one more time, just working her way in.
Now watch this play.
I mean, that's clearly Nyman running into her.
But Hester has to not leave the hands up.
Yeah.
You got to look over at the ref and give the shaking of the head. Nah, because maybe you can just set up the next one.
Riverettes with an opportunity right out front, goal score.
That's Schneidwind, or was that put back in by 18?
I think that's Dina Khan.
Here on goal, number 16, Emmy Southam. Ball's at the last goal.
I think that was
Pioneer 9, Huron 7.
They said number 16 on the goal,
32 remaining,
and then they went Southam. Yeah, that's 16, and we got a name on it. That's Southam. Now, Emily Southam on the goal. And looks like she tried to dink or fake and goes and loses the ball over the Southwind, and perfect pass.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot right there. Great job of being where she needs to be, crashing in there, finding no Pioneer defenders in front of her, and that's a pretty easy goal right there.
Yeah, and Southam, her second on the night. Only 90 seconds remaining here, Nick, though, in this third period. Huron really needed that goal.
Yeah, that's huge for them to get within 2 here before we start the fourth period. Excuse me. And now Southland one more time.
Still on the attack are the Rats.
Southland looks out front over the Cutter's head, but the River Rats still almost come up with that one outside along the edges.
Yeah, I love the aggressiveness of the Rats on the attack. Not sitting back and just holding for the opening of the cage. They're really trying to do their own. And here you can see on this replay the attacker coming right inside, and that was Schneidwin. Passed just a bit high for her.
Yeah, she makes that connection. You never know what sort of one-timer they could send in. Schneidwin carries in again. Defender right in front of her. There's Southam cutting in, receives the pass, fakes, spins, scores low.
All that screaming on the sideline from the River Rats bench. They're excited. They know that they're into this match. And Southam has done a great job of putting her team back in it. And watch this from deep. And we haven't seen a shot this deep in a long time, all match long, really.
No, that was a great job. Great job putting all of her power spinning away into that, using her momentum and her body all at the same time.
Wow, and that's just great. I mean, she has some strength in those hands. I want to see her on some ice. She might be a wrister shooter. That was just a perfect placement, but just a great job overall. And look who has the rock again.
Only 24 seconds to go. We'll see. Both of these teams might be scrambling to try to put one more in before the end of the quarter.
A little contact there. They let that one go, though.
Yeah, I think they might be letting a little bit of everything go here as we run down the time here. Only 2 seconds to go, and I don't think there's anything they're going to be able to do here. Nonetheless,
Pioneer 9.
A lot of Pioneer at the beginning of the quarter, and just a flurry by the River Rats to get back into this one. Rats only down 1 goal going into the fourth quarter. Stick around, everybody, for more CTN Sports Game of the Week.
Thank our sponsors this season, Arbor Tees.
Welcome to Ward Talk with our host, Bonnie Gabowitz. Each episode, we interview city leaders on the challenges, successes, and future of Ann Arbor. The mayor and 10 city council members share their insights on where we've been and where we're going. In that time, many changes happen, so tune in to Ward Talk every month to stay in the know. You can submit questions for our guests to ctn@a2gov.org, and we'll include your questions in the next episode.
I'm Dana Denha, host of Ann Arbor's news magazine, FYI. Watch new episodes weekly, where I explore the ways that make Ann Arbor the destination to live, work, and play.
quarter action getting ready to go here from Holloway Field. Kevin Bryant, Nick Wisniewski here with you. Pioneers up 9-8, but Kevin, who knows what's going to happen here in this fourth?
Well, I know one thing. You definitely have to have a ball out here on the middle of the field to play the game, and that was one thing that we didn't have. You know, ref runs out there, and he was cool looking, but didn't forget his apparatus. Here we go.
He's stoked. He's stoked. We're stoked. Everybody's ready to go, and, he's forgot a little something.
I tell you, Nick, though, after that third period, I am ready for this fourth quarter. I mean, both teams were on there. Johnny, they were doing the thing, and I want to see it the way that the River Rats started was on the defensive end. And here comes Jimenez to start it off for the Pie High guys.
And, of course, finds Maggie Lamb out front. One times that one wide.
Man, great pass, though. That's what you've been saying throughout this entire match, and it just seems like this pass coming in, well, we're in live action right now, so let's keep it right here for this live action. Pioneers on the attack. Great job there from Huron coming in. Let's take a quick look at that last attack from the Pioneers. Here comes Jimenez, and we saw her a couple times like this throughout the match. But look at this. One-timer into Maggie Lamb's cross. I mean, that was a perfect pass, right angle, just a little bit wide on the shot.
Well, and early on for Pioneer, when they were having their struggles or just kind of getting off their schneid, it was all about Jimenez. She was the one putting the ball in the net, and now she seems to be more of the catalyst, passing that in to whoever else.
It seemed like Pioneer needed to get some sweat going on. They used that first quarter to really lather themselves up, and they've been playing so much better since then.
Yeah, curious what happened there in that first quarter, what was going on, but whatever it was, they've shaken it off or built on it, whatever they're supposed to be doing, and they've just been goal-scoring machines, taking advantage of big opportunities, and sticking with every single play, just like this one right here. Bridget Uhas now with the shot and save.
Wow,
Sophie Lee.
Sophie Lee just scoops this one up and does a great job of eyeballing it all the way into her cross once again. And now Huron is back on the attack. Let's watch this one. Coming in, just leaving the defender, sprinting towards the net. And just a great job of scooping that low shot up there by Lee.
Yeah, Lee stuck with that one, and she almost had like an action stance to that. She wasn't wide to block. She was almost bladed, her body was.
Like the way you said that, action stance.
River Rats now trying to make something happen. Pioneer's stout defense. A little chuck there for you, too.
Yeah, nice chuck there. McGowan making sure that Khan is not feeling herself as she goes to the short side of the cage. But look at that. Pioneers dropped El Heben right in front. On both sides of the cage, it looks like Pioneers defense is just squatting in front of the cage, helping out Thomas.
Yeah, Pioneer D doing a great job, and that one's sent in, but a goal on the attack there. One more. Kiki Choi, I believe, is the recipient. She pulled that one down, one-timed it in, and they've tied this one up.
Yeah, Choi on the goal coming in, and she's just a recipient of a great pass. But when you get a great pass, you need to know what to do with it. And she's Choi coming in from up top and just guides the ball. Never really kept it in her cross, just guided it down inside the net. Above average pass there. Just want to give kudos to, I wanted to say Hester, but that was 7 on the pass. That was Vetter, Azalea Vetter on the assist.
And the word for me on that goal is patience.
Really
they didn't try to make too much
like
happen. They were waiting for it. They took a few opportunities. They took a few chances, didn't get in, and they just kept waiting for the right time. And they put one in the net, and that's exactly what you want to do if you're the Rats. And they're going to try to keep that momentum going as they come forward again.
Yeah, and a lot of weaving in between and setting kind of like a moving screen you see in football. But that looked like it was some contact upstairs, and that's going to be a penalty on the Pioneers. Going to be a free shot, penalty shot coming up here for the Rats.
As Molly Schneidman did a nice job of picking that ball off the turf and trying to get in. She's going to stick with it. Schneidman leans in, looking at Thomas, and she comes in and goes right, nice. And another goal for the Rats.
And I tell you what, I mean, as great job by
Huron
Schneider,
goal,
but she
number
really
9,
took the
Molly
eyes
Sheehan.
of Thomas away from where she was
Score is
planning
River
and
Rats
intending
10,
on unleashing the shot.
Pioneers
You can
9,
see her coming in
8:25
from
remaining
the
in
right
the fourth
side or
quarter.
the left side of the keeper, drops this one downstairs, and it bounced off of the cross on the top and goes cross. That's a pull down goal, really. I mean, she goes left, shoots right.
Well, and I think you said it when changing the eye level of the goalkeeper. That's exactly what she was doing. She was looking high the whole way, and then to get it that low, that quickly, and just a great attack.
Great way for the River Rats to start off this fourth period. They're really just keeping possession and really right back at it, putting the pressure on the home team Pioneers.
The Rats continue to do well on the faceoffs, and they'll start on the offense right now. Very patient, waiting for those opportunities. There's a cut in, and one more goal. Azalea Vetter. This is just a deluge of goals for the River Rats.
Yeah, we weren't expecting this, and I'm really catching the
Goals waved
Pioneers
off.
surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a timeout coming here soon. But watch this going around. Oh, actually, they didn't call that one a goal.
They called
man.
that one no goal. They must have
So
called penalty
actually,
ahead
we
of
got
time.
a penalty shot coming up. Huge there, stop in the cage for Thomas. Goes upstairs, and man, I really wanted to see what that penalty was because it looked like a goal coming in. Late whistle, but set up the penalty shot for Huron. Still a great scoring opportunity, and let's see if we can see the penalty off of this attack. You see a lot of hitting going on. Where does the ball get loose?
And I think they're going to call her for a high stick or some high
And
contact
you can see
right
the
before
ref
that.
coming in with the penalty, but it looked again like it was a bang play from shot to call of the whistle.
Vetter was rewarded with a penalty shot, but a great job by Jayla Thomas to stay in front of that one and saw that one right into her net. Southam now sends that one into the middle, and there is the River Rats' next goal. Wow.
Yeah, and now that one, Azalea made sure she got into the net. She goes upstairs, cross
Timeout,
cage,
Pioneer.
and we do get the Pioneer
Huron
timeout.
goal is number
But you can
26,
see
Elizabeth
Azalea
Score
Vetter
is
get her
Huron
hat
11,
trick here
Pioneer 9,
off of this
7:04
restart.
remaining in the fourth
And
quarter.
it goes across the cage. Good pass there. And was that?
I believe that was Beach. That might have been. I think that was Elizabeth Beach that had actually put that one on. Yep, Beach receives that one right up front. Strong wrist shot just over her shoulder.
So sorry about that call on Azalea Vetter. Beach with her second goal of the night. But again for Huron, all Huron really this last period. They were down by 1 entering it. Now they're up by 2. And again, it just seems like taking possession and keeping possession from those face-offs is really what has propelled Huron to really put the pressure on the Pioneers. Taking one more, that was a hit upstairs on the head. We didn't get a penalty there, but this looks like a grab on the back, on the arm, quick grab on the arm, on that left arm. And then the nod from the Huron player acknowledging the penalty was called, and then Vetter would go on and miss the penalty shot, but come back in and get the ball over to Beach, who scores the decisive goal to put the River Rats up by 2.
Yeah, 2-goal lead feels like a big lead.
It does,
but
really does.
Who knows? I mean, the way that both of these teams are scoring in bunches. If you're looking to score in bunches, follow us on the socials there.
Yeah, and definitely follow some of those behind-the-scenes photos we've seen. We've gotten a lot of likes from some of those photos of the truck. We had JV Rick's son. Yeah, he was doing everything last game. We had him on the microphone. We had him in the truck. But, of course, hit that like button if you like any of those photos you see, folks.
Who doesn't love seeing what's going on in the truck? That's TV magic.
They have some
down
fun
there.
back there.
Exactly
Have
right.
Snacks.
They do. They have fun and they have snacks. It's easy to have fun when you got some snacks. Rats with another face-off win, and now the Pioneers with one of the rare opportunities so far in this fourth quarter, trying to push up with 6:44 to go.
The Pioneer really hasn't shown their speed. Now you can see Jimenez going right through in the middle. Didn't see her. But that's the thing that Huron, I should say, their defense has done a great job. And I don't know if a great job is the right adjective to use because they haven't been playing any defense. They've been on offense the entire quarter.
And there we've got a penalty as Lainey Hester hits the deck.
I didn't think she goes down that easy.
I mean, and I think if you think about the amount of force that it probably did take to knock her down. Opportunity upcoming here, Julia Scherbaum. Scherbaum spins away, and that one made it in. There's a scrum right out in front of the net. Tough to see from this angle, but that one went in, and the Pioneers are now within 1 goal.
Let's see if we can see this. We're really going to have to slow this one down because it just became a circus in front of the net. Everybody comes out in front of Lee. You can see 3 defenders there. Ball comes out right onto the short side, and Lee did all she could, but that was just a superior shot.
Yeah, and I wonder if Lee had a hard time following where that ball was going because of the amount of players out in front of her. I mean, there was just tons and tons of white and black out in front of her. Evening up the sticks here, getting ready to go. High fly, flip up from Beach. She picks that one up off the turf, and she's going to bring the offense going. 3 players out in front of Beach. Stops and finds Vetter. Vetter now full head of steam going in. Fakes low. Looking for somebody out front. Out front. Oh, wide shot. Southam there. I thought for sure that she had that. Great job by Vetter to find her out front.
Yeah, great catch on this pass from Beach. Beach comes out, takes a couple defenders with her, goes back in front of the cage, and great job of going up tall was Emily Southam. And just a little bit, I think she was anxious on that shot, Nick. She just shot it very quick.
All right, Rats back at it now. Continuing their patient ways. Clearly no hurry, and that's one more low shot and goal in. Is that Southam again?
Southam, she came in without her name on the roster, and she's making a name for herself, I tell you, because everybody's been calling her name this match. And look at this. Just triggers it, puts it behind the net, and then just cutting through. And I think she even had her head down. We need to slow that one down again. She did take a hit upstairs with Southam, but watch this as she's coming in. I think she takes some friendly contact upstairs right there.
Yeah.
And then she puts her head down and goes cross cage. I don't even think she saw the shot.
So you might be right about that. You're right. Like that stick got her in just the right spot and bent her neck down. But she knew she had her momentum going. She knew what she wanted to do with that, and she succeeded.
It's almost a muscle reaction. I mean, because she just shot it right away before she got from inside that shooting cage or alley, really. We gotta get a card. We got a red card come out here. We got that's a yellow card, actually. You got a slash and got a card for the slash. We can hear the ref call that penalty from our perch up here in the booth.
And was that on Azalea Vetter? Vetter came off.
Yeah, and it was a switch. It was a substitution coming in, but there was a slash right at the same time. That's what stopped the play, and you had to get a restart for Pioneer. So kind of killed all that momentum they had running up the field.
Yeah, exactly. Beach to Southam. Southam now, she's just player possessed as of right now. She's trying to work it off to the right side, maybe looking into the middle.
55, 65. She's just
waiting
up
for
the
her
yards.
chance. Yeah.
I mean, she came from over all the other side of the midfield marker and still had some energy to unleash a shot. Southam has been just doing a great job for the Riverettes.
That pass over the head of Kiki Choi.
Choi did a good job of coming back, almost scooped it up, but here comes Lamb. Look at Lamb just leave people in dust.
Beach pestering her. Lamb with the shot. Nice save right out front there, Sophie Lee.
Yeah, Lee took one for the squad on that one. She just took that one right in the middle of her chest.
How many times have we said that today?
I mean, look at her. Right, Lamb on this breakaway comes down and gets in front of Sequoia and look right off of the shoulder. That guarantees you, that left a mark. That left a mark. I know she doesn't have any shoulder pads on. Man.
3:08 to go here, and the River Rats up 12-10.
Nice
back
screen.
on the attack.
Southam's doing everything for the River Rats, even if she doesn't have the ball. Good job of helping out her teammate get a little bit of space.
Beach now trying to make a move, and you see Southam trying to cut into the center. Great job getting into the passing lane there by the Pioneer defender, Nina Bonenberger.
Yeah, Bonenberger kind of dribbled that one down. And let's see this. Look at Kahn's just taking all kind of contact. Southam with a good screen, though, to open up Kahn on that last attack.
Pioneers now slowly running out of time. Only 2:22 to try to
Pull
get
the
back
goalkeeper.
into this one. We had another penalty there. I think we're going to call that one on the slash on the defense. Clock continues to wind down as I believe
really need
Nyman's
this
ready
one.
to get in there.
It looked like a false start.
Nyman puts that one in and gets her Pioneers to within one with approaching 2 minutes to go.
Man, I want to take a look at this one again because it looked like a bunch of people kind of got a little bit anxious on this play before it began. And from my naked eye, it looked like it was a quick little false start here. Let's see. Yeah, oh, that looked like a false start.
She definitely jumped. I don't know if her foot went forward or if it was just her whole body. Yeah, I don't know.
It came up and it went back down. Getting a timeout on this one so we can take a look at it again. I mean, but this one is an important goal off of the penalty. Let's take a look at her back foot, folks. And it looks like her right foot came up a little bit quick.
Got the referee's head blocking it just enough. We might not totally see it.
Here we go. And she comes.
Oh, yeah, definitely up. Definitely came up off the
turf. And it even triggered the Huron defender. Vetter even moved. Ref right there trying to do his best dancing impersonation of the goal. I think he should have blown a whistle on that play, though. And it didn't even look like the keeper, Sophie Lee, said anything. Or the sideline from Huron, but we got more cameras.
we've got cameras. We got the replay. We got the man Moel Masri in there getting his hands on everything. Of course, Rob the Boss Cross making all those calls, getting everybody in all these perfect positions. We got some happy camera guys up above us too.
Yeah, they're not
with Ryan, Randy
today.
Smith, and Tim Katsumi Nagai up there soaking it in.
Yeah,
soaking it in.
This is the day they're like, can we do 2 games back to back?
I'm sure that's exactly what they're saying right now. I'm Nick the Jinx Wisniewski along with Kevin the Mayor Bryant. Thank you for joining us for just Game of the Week, and it's living up to its name.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and this one started off, it was all Pioneer to begin with. I mean, all Huron to begin with, really. Pioneer woke up in the middle part of the match, and really, they've been hanging on. At some point, we thought that the Pioneers were going to pull away. Huron came back in the mid-third period and just have been finding themselves. Now you can see them dancing on the sideline over here in between before play starts up again. They're really feeling good.
Yeah, they were bringing that energy when things looked their darkest, and that's what a great team does, right? And that's what a great coach instills in those players as well.
If we only knew the coach's name.
That'd be helpful. We can work on that later. 2:04 to go. Fourth quarter, game of the week here from Holloway Field. Rats visiting Rats with a 1-goal lead. Beach has been so good on these faceoffs. You gotta think that she grabs it again.
Too far behind her as well. I mean, this is how it starts off for both teams, right from the faceoff. Who wins this one really will go a long way in securing this match.
Rubber meets the road time right here. Crosses are nice and level. Ball down, whistle up. And you called it, Jimenez. Great job winning it, snagging it for herself, and then just slam-a-rama into Lainey Hester. Wow, just massive collision out at the 30-yard line.
She lost some glasses on this hit. I mean, that was a hit. Woof. Everything. I think some shoes might have come unlaced.
Yeah, they look like your Pumas. They're probably just like wrecked out there now. Jimenez now.
And they say this is a non-contact sport.
Jimenez bursts down. Nobody out in front of the net for. I wonder if she's going to make a move. Stopped dead by 2 River Rat defenders.
Why did she shoot it?
Sends that. I guess she just didn't have a look at it. Didn't want that opportunity. Wait for something better.
And you can see Huron's playing just straight up man. Nobody really corralling that cage like Pioneer does on their defense.
And there's Lamb, as we've seen so much this game, and that's one more goal. Maggie Lamb ties this one up. 1 minute exactly left on the clock.
Yeah, and you can see Lamb gets around Hester, and she does what she does best. Watch this. Off of the screen, she just runs out of our camera picture, really.
Camera couldn't even keep up with her.
At least 3 or 4 different plays.
Well, and maybe that's why Jimenez passed on that shot. She knew that it wasn't exactly what she wanted.
At her time?
Yep. Get it to somebody who's got a better look, a better opportunity. Wow. And Maggie Lamb has all the good looks.
Oh, yeah, and Lee could barely even react on that slingshot. I mean, that was just a power shot in the back of the cage. And now, this is what we've been waiting for, folks. I mean, we get these games tight up, and it couldn't get any more tighter than this, Nick.
Coming down to the wire. Under 1 minute to play here from Holloway Field. And the River Rats come up with it. Rats have shown a lot of patience on offense. They have had plenty of time. And with a longer bench right now, you've got to think that their legs are probably a little bit stronger.
Well, look at this movement.
Southam knocks that one through. Southam stayed with it, never really even had it in her net. Just kept pushing it forward and sent that one wide left. Pioneers now with their chance to come up. 26 seconds to go here in this one.
Oh, they're really going to have to hurry. And you can see this one here. Let's take a look at Southam come in, scooping up, scoops it over a defender, under a defender, and tried to just bat it into
Lose
the
it,
cage.
try to slap it in. I mean, that's all you can do, but that is a great effort by Southam there.
I think we're looking at extra lacrosse here, and why not for
Free
a
lacrosse,
final lacrosse match of the season? I say extra lacrosse it is, sir.
The score is tie.
As mentioned, that is tie ball game.
Teams will now have a 5-minute rest.
So,
by 2 3-minute overtime periods.
So we'll have 2 3-minute overtime periods. So we're not just going to do one. We're going to do 2 3-minute periods. And then after that, we can go to a shootout after that if they're still tied.
3-minute periods.
So that'll do it. End of regulation right now. Everything's square at 12, but stick around. OT, free lacrosse coming up on CTN Sports Game of the Week. You see everybody moving their feet, and it all starts. All starts with Rosenberg right there.
I love his sellies too. The celebrations out of Rosenberg are awesome. He attacks from either side, coming from behind the keeper, and he puts everything into this shot.
Here's Rosenberg. We've seen him do this time and time again, and there he is coming around.
Wow. I mean, that's top cheddar, folks.
You don't see that very often either. They haven't needed it, but there it plays off, and there's Rosenberg with another goal.
Oh, wow. He's showing it up. That's my 4th goal on the game, folks. He's pulling his own jersey. Love it.
Calm, cool, and collected the whole way. Speaking of pad standing, not that that's what he's doing, but that is another goal. Eli Rosenberg.
I'm running out of sellies. Guys.
No, they're not. OT, Kevin Bryant. I think this is the first overtime all year, not just this season.
I think so.
But I think in the last calendar year. And here we go, 12-12 here from Holloway Field.
Man, and we even got guys waiting on this game. We're delaying the guys playing. Top place guys. Pioneer against Bedford follows us here. but we got something more important, Nick.
Yeah, we've got Game of the Week going on here. They're more than happy to sit on the sidelines and watch this one.
They're taking
Pioneers
it in.
are happy to cheer on the ladies.
Cortina now with it, takes it in, and, you know, she just plays it around now to Lamb. Lamb is the one you got to keep an eye on, and I would not just keep one. I'd keep about 4 eyes on her.
Might want to keep them both on Lamb, because if you don't, she's going to put a move on you, and all you're going to see is the ball in the net.
Wow.
Nice pass
open.
right out front.
Jimenez.
Big save up front. Sophie Lee, how many times can we say it?
Great job finding Lamb, finding who was that, Sophie Lee? Right in front. And you can see it right here. Looks like we're getting a restart.
We'll maintain River Rat ball, though.
It's smart. Nobody can touch her, so we can take a look at this last scoring opportunity. Lamb comes right over to Cage Jimenez. Jimenez right off of the cross. Great job of stepping up and blocking that shot was Lee. Lee now trying to trigger the offense.
And that was really the inverse. The last few Lamb goals we saw that were started out by Jimenez.
Lamb showing her skills all the way around. Now, you were saying in between the break that Pioneer probably is the team that really needed that break going into this overtime period with their short bench.
And the River Rats, not a ton of speed under them there. And that one, long pass picked up by the Pioneers. And that finds Lamb out front. Lamb slam-a-llama, but nice save right there. Sophie Lee comes up huge one more time.
And it looked like Anna Regan got across on that one to slow that shot down from Lamb. Only 1 minute remaining here in our first overtime period, Nick. This one goes quick in this overtimes.
Lamb going to try her luck at it again. We got a whistle, though, as she came through. High stick, high cross across her, I believe.
Yeah, I think Beach got her up top, so this is going to give her a great scoring opportunity.
Great scoring opportunity. We're going to see a hard shot coming up here from Maggie Lamb. Lamb stays dead still, waits for the whistle, cuts in. High over Sophie Lee.
Yeah, and Lee's doing a great job in the net. Can't stop talking about her. I mean, she's really keeping the River Rats in this match. You see coming inside Lamb. Just, you know, that was one of those times that she might have wanted to use one of her patented bounce shots.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that maybe she thought I've went low so many different times. And here we go one more time. Another chance
Sure
from
I
the
believe.
start for the Pioneers.
Shearbaum comes in shooting from the right side, so she's got her cross on the other side. This ball's going to come in down to the left.
And that one goes wide. Schaubbaum can't put that one either. Sophie Lee continues a strong streak in OT. No rest for her, though. And that will do it for the first overtime period. We're going to switch up sides.
I don't think we're going to take a 5-minute break.
No, there will not be a 5-minute break on this one. This is going to be like, hey, why don't you hustle over there and let's get this moving.
Yeah, I really think they're going to just take a quick break on this one, Dave.
Yeah, just enough to chat it out, switch sides,
They're
and then
even
get going.
setting up at midfield right now.
Yeah,
already.
exactly. And, man, you can't say enough about Sophie Lee in that first OT, right?
I mean, she did a great job. The defenders in front of her coming up. Lacey Delp on that last attempt. It takes a team effort, really, to slow down the attacks from both squads. And if you're able, and look and see, coming in, you can see Delp on the other side. She drops her cross right on, I believe that was Beach or that was Shearbaum. Shearbaum on the shot there.
And here we go. Beach Jimenez one more time from midfield. Everything all square. These ones end up being so huge, and Jimenez seemingly getting the better of it, but Beach
not giving up.
All over her. That's what you got to do. You leave it all out on the field in double OT. Jimenez, though, comes up with it. She's got Lamb to her left and a player right out front. Skates past Bridget Uhas.
I mean, you got 12 goals on the scoreboard, but I tell you, Lee is not making anything easy for the Pioneers here in overtime. Well, look at Lamb, though. She's coming right back on Vetter.
And Beach did a great job of getting up front of that one. She's got 2 players right in front of him, one of them Maggie Lamb. Up now to Schneidwind. Schneidwind now trying to make some distance between her and those 2 defenders. Pioneer defenders, though, crunched her up the middle, but she stays with it out in front of those Bedford players. Schneidwind now trying to use her back, spinning away. She's got her player, but that one skates on by, gets through. 1:57 to go now, and the Pioneers will pick up possession.
They didn't call that one a pass. They called it a shot, so it's going to go over to the Pioneers. The Pioneers will have their opportunity, but that long pass is not corralled in. And look at the River Rats. They're out hustling, really, the Pioneers in these overtime periods, I believe, Nick.
1:34 now to play in the second overtime. That one collected up, and now the River Rats pushing forward. Southam now spins out in front, finds herself with 2 Pioneers in front of her.
Oh, this is going to be a great opportunity right here with only 1:14 on the clock for the River Rats, and it's going to be Southam.
Just who you want to have the ball right now if you're the River Rats. Southam has been huge in this second half, and big opportunity coming up here with under a minute to go in the second OT. Waits for the whistle, gets it, shoots it. Nice big save there. Jayla Thomas slapped that one away, and the Pioneers will come up with this one. 40 seconds to go here in this second overtime.
Oh, really thought that was supposed to be Huron's ball on the possession. Yeah, the refs are changing that around. That looked like that was supposed to be Huron's ball. Pioneers scooped it up in the back of the corner. Let's see if the refs come together, because the ref on the near side I was looking at, south of the cage, now she changed her call up. Now she's changing her call up to Pioneer.
So this is going to be, Pioneer maintains possession like we thought, although more whistles. I wonder if they're going to make her move back before she gets going or give her a little bit of space. Yeah, they want to space out those River Rat players. Nonetheless, she cuts right through.
There's going to be some contact upstairs, but they're going to allow that to keep just play on.
Yeah, catches a few shots, still moving forward. 14 seconds to go now.
Are we going to get a shot off, or are we going to get a tie?
It's going to be close coming down the stretch here. 7 seconds. Nobody wants a tie. Nobody wants the sister kisser right now. It's all about trying to get one more opportunity. 1 second, got to spin around. Not sure of the timing, and that will do it for this one. 12-12 tie here at Holloway Field.
We're trying to take a look and see if they're going to give these girls an extra period of a shootout. It sounds like we might have some extra minutes. Looks like they put 2 minutes on the clock for a break.
In the sudden victory format.
And so now we go to sudden
death.
And they're going to put 3 minutes back on the clock after a short break.
There it is. So we're not going to take a break. We're going to stick around. We're going to stick around here. 1-4. The clock says 1:42. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I tell you what, there was nonstop action from the River Rats in that. Pioneer was really on their heels. Great job on the defensive end for the River Rats as well, too, by Sophie Lee. She was the one taking shots off of her elbow, blocking shots, and really keeping her team into this match. And the Pioneers did, their good job on their side as well, too. And being in the cage since the first period has been Thomas. She's taken a lot of shots, but it's really been the defense that's been pressing up for Pioneer. It's really slowed this River Rat offensive attack down.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly right. The Pioneer defense, they've done a great job of, it seems like almost any time a River Rat attacker gets the ball anywhere near the net, there's 2 Pioneers right in front of that player.
And I'm going to go ahead and put on my coach's cap. And if I'm the River Rats, I don't want to wait. I want to put my foot on the gas pedal and do a good job of not allowing the Pioneer defense to set, because it seems like when they're setting, they're allowing they're a stout defense, But if you catch them in between on a transition or maybe even a rebound steal, that's when they're susceptible to a goal.
Yeah.
Now, for the Pioneers, Maggie Lamb. Get the ball to Maggie Lamb.
But I mean, doesn't everybody in the stadium know and think that?
Pretty much.
I'm not taking away from what you're saying. But wouldn't the trick be that now, if everybody, I don't know, I've lost count.
Yeah,
I've just filled up the
5.
stat sheet.
So,
exactly.
I mean, everybody knows, but stopping her is another thing.
That's exactly right.
So she's the alpha out there on that squad.
Yeah, and you wonder if she gets a hold of it, if she will try to make something happen. Maybe she'll be looking for Jimenez or one of her teammates to try to make something happen for them, because you got to think they're going to have 2, if not 3 players on Maggie Lamb.
Huron now on the attack. Here we go. And now it's just sudden death, Nick. So whoever finds it back the cage first will walk away with the dub.
A little bit of contact there up front. River Rats not waiting. Aggressive play coming in. Southam, we got another whistle out front. I think we're about to have a free shot with Southam.
Here we go.
Southam now waits patiently for that whistle. Southam in, but great defense getting in. Southam stays with it, picks up her fumble, sends that one up high over 2 players, but the River Rats continue to hold possession.
The Pioneer student section trying to
Yeah, they're trying to affect
out
things as well.
And it does. It helps out with the turnover here for the Pioneers. And you never kept that into that cross, so they'll stay possession.
Electric atmosphere down here at Holloway Field. 3rd overtime. We're in sudden death territory now as Jimenez brings this one in. A little bit of contact off the defender. Jimenez rolls away. She's got an open look, finds Nyman down behind the net. Nyman's going to be looking for those players to cross out in front of her, but the River Rats doing a really good job of having those players out in front. And here comes Lamb with it. Cuts through 2 players. Whistle.
We're going to get a penalty shot now.
From the 8-meter arc, number 7, Maggie Lamb.
This is exactly who we were talking about. This is exactly who you want to have the ball if you're the Pioneers. And it's the last person you want to have it in their cross if you're Huron.
We can see her. She's anxious. She's ready to go.
Sophie Lee, stone-like waiting. Gets low, but that one finds the net. Maggie Lamb, one more time, wins this one. Gets the good guys home victory for the Pioneers. Triple overtime, sudden death. Maggie Lamb, can't say enough about it.
Man, what do we do every time that we have these Pioneers here on our CTN Sports Game of the Week? You could see Lamb there. She was just getting ready to go for that goal. Goes downstairs in between the legs of the keeper for her 6th goal of the night. Maggie Lamb puts it in. Wow, what a match, folks. That's the way you do our CTN Sports Game of the Week. Nick is on his hustle to get down there to the field to get our key player of the game. I wonder who that is. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
And down on the field with key player junior Maggie Lamb. First off, you guys started off a little bit slow. Tell me about how overcoming that early deficit.
I think we definitely worked harder on the ball in that second half. We proved that we really wanted to win, and we won a lot more 50-50s that we were kind of letting go by the first half.
Now, how did you get your teammates involved to get back into this one?
I think just really communicating hard and supporting each other, because it really matters how you interact with your teammates and how they work on the field.
Then triple overtime, penalty. You had the ball. We said that you're the one that obviously everybody wanted. What's going through your mind as you're getting ready for that?
I just tried to clear my mind. I mean, there was a big group of cheer fans behind, and I just kind of tried to focus on the goal and the goalie and just really decide where I wanted to place my shot and kind of tune everything out.
Very zen. Maggie Lamb down here, key player of the game. Kevin, back to you, man.
Great job, Maggie, and great job, Nick. I mean, Maggie Lamb, if we're needing a goal, I'm calling you up for the penalty shot or any shot. She did a great job. 5 goals. Pioneer hangs on in overtime to beat their crosstown rival, the River Rats, 13-12. Folks, thank you for watching this CTN Sports Game of the Week. For Nick Wisniewski, I'm Kevin Bryant. Please hit that like button. We'll see you again here on CTN Sports.